I am on the. What are you on the watch for? What? So I had my AirPod on. That can happen sometimes. What are you watching? Okay. I just wanted to have a quick live and talk about some of the reasons why we like fragrances. Okay, so I will probably do a video on this later. Just wanted to collect some info. Why is the lights are like that in here? Anyway, I see it right here. So I am. Thank God it's Thursday. This week has been again. I feel like I'm like Groundhouse Day. It's been like several weeks. I wake up every day and I say this week has been hard. It's been just like that. It's been life. I gotta get used to life being hard. And hi, it's Mitra. Yes, my twin brother. How are you? It is Thursday. Thank God. And from the looks of it, at least from my 5 calendars united, seems like I'm not too busy today. Hi. Hi, how are you, San Pablo? How's it going? I'm wearing Amber Sultan today. Amber Sultan, like I think it's a 2017. I showed it to Rich. Life is hard. I know, Tara. Like, life is so fucking. Was it always like this, or is it like we just are more aware of it? Like I can't even. Like we had. I'm gonna start on a sad note, and probably nobody's gonna watch, but we had a school shooting on Tuesday. So in BC, which is the school shootings are not a thing here in Canada. We don't have access to guns really. I mean, I know, I just don't want to have a conversation on guns, but we don't have access to guns here that easily. So I feel that is related to low rates of the, like, you can have guns, but you need, like, it's not like you can go buy from a store. You need like a lot of like permit and background check and all sort of like stuff and a course and a blah blah blah. Like there's so many rules going into it. And also you have to provide like evidence that you're locking safety, blah 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 blah. So there's a lot of like things goes into it. Anyways, and then we had a school shooting on Tuesday in a very small community in British Columbia, which is, just can't even. It's a secondary school. And yeah, a bunch of people died. And the shooter killed his mom and brother before going to school to find the rest of the siblings, which he didn't, but he ended up killing himself and a bunch of other kids, which was very sad. Very, very sad. It is. I just can't even. How can you just send your kid to school saying, sorry, I know this is about fragrances, but I am known to go on tangents. But how, like, as a mother, you send your kid to school and they're gone. That's just so insane. People have gone so, like, this is crazy, and I've been saying this and probably confirming it. I feel like something happened to the world around 2019, 2020. I don't know if it's COVID or not. Maybe it's just it's just a coincidence. But people have been much more irritable, and it's just like the nerves are raw. Like everyone is just waiting for something to drop to snap at each other, and I can't. It's very anxiety provoking. Like this is not conducive to good mental health. Anyways, and it doesn't. And like, I feel yesterday I was so sad, like, thinking about the school shooting and the kids at school, and then at the same time I was feeling guilty about feeling sad about that, but at the moment I wasn't thinking about 35,000 people who the government shot in Iran. Like in the same time, it's just crazy. It's insanity. Anyways, oh, that was a terrible day in that school. I know. It's just they were talking to the parents and all those things. It's just like, even Like my kids' school yesterday had Valentine's Day party that they could invite a parent and go there, and I had just really like mixed feelings about that. And I was like, oh no, how can I go to a Valentine's Day party while their parents? It's just crazy, and I don't know how's the balance between the two of them. Of course, the school didn't cancel it, and I think it's appropriate because you can't really explain it to kindergarteners about what had happened in any sort of appropriate form, because there is no appropriate form to explain to a kindergartner what happened. But again, at the same time, I'm like, oh, fuck, like this is insane. Anyways, let's talk about happy content. Is this why we are collecting fragrances? Because the world has gone to shit. Recently I watched We Have to Keep Living. It is complicated though, and yeah, Tara, I understand that we have to keep living, but again, is that I feel like this is what they want. The whole shit that's going around us, that people just be concerned about what's in front of them and not see the whole picture, so they can do whatever fuck they want in the background. And I understand the preservation, but also I don't want to fall into the group of sheeps that like behind my back things are being done, right? So it's just crazy. It's insane. Anyways, okay. So let's talk about. I'm wearing Amber Sultan. I'm really, really happy that I picked up Amber Sultan, and it's a 2017 one, which is like that has still the white label. It's so beautiful, and I'm like every time I put it on, I'm like, why don't I put it on often? This is that kind of perfect amber. I'm really enjoying it. I'm hopefully will be slowing down on getting new things because tax season, and so I need to, just like enjoy what I have. And I was just like, it's gorgeous. I also feel guilty. If you haven't heard about how much guilt I feel these days, I also feel guilty for not wearing my beautiful fragrances more often. It's just kind of stupid. So, I collect fragrances to test Mitra's mental fortitude. Dude, you're gonna break me one day. I think that we have reached. I have probably procured Prolly's collection of fragrances, if you have seen that tower. Probably 90% of your collection I have procured. Love Amber Sultan and Chergui. Yes, yes, yes. And also Amber Sultan comes in this Confit de Parfum, which is kind of like a 20 ml, kind of more concentrated version. And Joma Shop had some. And also Chergui like comes in that. And that is a nuclear. It's like beautiful, beautiful. I'm not talking about like the performance and sillage or whatever, but it's even that much more, present, and I really like it. On days that I need that oomph, I will put that on. Hi, Moose, how are you? Guys, please like the stream, subscribe if you haven't, turn on the notification button, all those nice things. Joe Michelle, yes. What was I going to say? So why do we collect fragrances? No, I'm serious. Like, if you are in the chat, tell me, why did you? So I am interested in behavior sciences, and part of like behavior science and even mindfulness is that any behavior you do, to think about, why am I doing this, and is it providing me with something, right? And not in just like, I like it, like, that's really superficial. But I mean, it's okay if that's a reason, but it's also superficial in some ways, because if you're doing something more than it is considered normal, which, like, nobody needs more than 3, 4, 5 fragrances really, then they're probably something that's driving you to do that. Now, it is interesting as a mindful practice to think about what I'm doing. Why am I doing it? Is it providing me with something? Is it harming me in some ways? And do I want to continue doing it once in a while? It's kind of a good really practice to do so, and that's why I'm interested. And also Rafi, I will link the video. He posted a video on, I can't remember what the title of the video was, but I will link it in the description. about collecting fragrances, blah blah blah, and stereotypes a little bit in the community, and that's where kind of the spark came from. I collect fragrance because I can't download perfumes. Well, so but why perfume? Why not coins? Why not? What is it in the perfumes that makes them so special? Um, I collect because Tara says I collect because I want to smell all the things. I enjoy wearing different scents based on my nuanced mood. Okay, so for you, it's the emotional well-being, and somehow scent, which is the most kind of like, they say actually the baby's touch, the first, the first the first sense that develops actually in a baby is the sense of touch, like is it matures, and then there's a smell. It's very interesting that, like, and then there's studies on touch, but anyways, not going to talk about that. But so obviously, scents are important for you for whatever reason, right? Like, and some people are more. I feel like some people are more. They have always been this way. Like, they have always been like smelling things. Like, some people do not even, like, when I was talking to someone, I was like, a bag of rice, when you just open it, how does it smell? I was like, I never tried to even smell a bag of rice when it opens. And it's like, well, as a kid, I remember I smelled everything. Like, it's just, that was my, maybe I was born a dog in a different life, but that was what I was interested in. And, for some people is the emotional somehow comfort. But why? Why? Why so many, if that is it? Like, why can't we have like 10 fragrance and, like, that's like pretty much all we like from different genres, and just enjoy that. Collecting fragrances because it is a liquid form of art. That is true. It's a liquid form of art, but, like, does anyone else, like, here, like, I don't collect anything else pretty much. It's just fragrances. Like, that's all, and that's biggest collection that I've ever done. Does anyone here collect anything else other than fragrances? I love art. Yep, that's a valid reason. Because perfumes are interactive, I can't do anything with coins except look at them. True. Like, it's something that you enjoy the experience. There's a little bit more of experience than just, it's almost like music. I would compare it to music in some ways, because you listen and you get the experience. And then there is, I guess there aren't a lot of arts like that. Like, I mean, I don't know if I want to include theater and movie in that, but, like, it's most likely is like the closest would be music. And it's funny enough, because what we talk about perfumes is notes, and what do perfumers have is organs, like, right? Like, it's very closely connected with um, music. I can't do anything with. I wrote that. They make me in a better. They make me in a better mood. Um, Same with food. Oh, okay. I love tasting interesting food. I'm sure it is connected. Yes. Well, scent and smell are very. The taste and the smell are very closely connected. Now, here it is. I'm not, like, I would try for food. Like, I am adventurous eater, I would say, but I am happy to eat the same thing over and over again until I don't. Like, it's just, that's how I am. Hello, everyone. I lowered the volume. Why? Did I scream? Or you're on a watch. Hello, Delise. Yes. Delise is looking for Frederick Mall samples. If anyone has Frederick Mall samples, hit Delise. Brenda Luto, is that a new ID? Raymond, hi Raymond. How are you? Long time no see. I collect science books. Oh, really? Interesting. I used to have a big CD and vinyl collection, but I sold it off because it is annoying to move. Yes. I can't get the same online. I know. And that's the worst part. I'm ashamed to say, like, every time the discussion comes. I love my house. Like, I absolutely love my house and I don't want to move out of it. So like there's that. And also every time it comes out, like the discussion about maybe we can sell this house, and I'm like, no, I'm not moving with my collection. That's become a reason for me to not move from where I am, because I feel like, who's going to move all those bottles? That would be just such a pain, and I will not trust anyone to move those bottles. Here's the security for the parking lot. Okay. Um, yeah. I don't know. I like, collecting is one thing. I feel like collecting is one thing. Some people collect and they are never in a fragrance, Facebook group. They're never in a, like, they don't watch YouTube. They don't watch Instagram. In fact, I wonder how many of the collectors do watch reviews or are in a Facebook group and all those things. Because, to be honest, the idea of someone reviewing something that smells on the screen is crazy, and I think that's what Rafi said. That is absolutely crazy. That you're watching someone reviewing something that you can't experience at the time. It is insane in some ways. I will move those bottles to my house. Yes, yes. We'll cross border operation here. Move that vintage STV to my, no. You have to wait until I croak. Plus, Tara is much closer to me than any of y'all. I think even, yeah, Tara's closer than me than Paroli. Funny enough. I mean, vintage Raymond. Yeah. So the collecting is one thing, and being in kind of online groups and doing YouTube and doing like videos and stuff. I wonder how many, what's the percentage of collectors who do actually review, um, do even listen to reviews, and then what is the percentage of them that do content out of it. It's interesting thing to I don't think it's the majority by any means. Maybe I'm wrong, but that is another reason. Like, it's not just about the collecting the fragrances because you enjoy the fragrance. It is also, I feel like there's something to be said for people who are in the communities and they're looking for a sense of community, which we are losing by every day, right? Started collecting because of the colors I sniffed. Oh, right. Like the imagery that comes with, yeah, that is something that's always been important to me. And I love that. That is one thing I love about fragrances, that just gives me the whole experience of like the whole shebang, like, just the color, for me, the imagery. Like, sometimes I wonder if someone has like taken a fragrance and made a painting based on that, you know? So, as soon as I smelled the Zapstrates, what's it called? This last one, Philosopher's Walk. Um, I told you, Jane, I said, it was like, this is, all I see is yellow and purple. And I was like, oh, I've seen that somewhere recently. And I was in Toronto and I had done at the time, and I had gone to Van Gogh's, that's which immersive experience. And I said, well, you know what? That is a Starry Night. Like, this is what I'm seeing. Like, with, as soon as I smelled it, that came to me, that image came to me. Um, Lunchtime, happy lunch. And so I feel like there's that maybe emotional connection about like the scent and enjoying it, but also there is, I don't know, there's also other aspects of it that people are into, because there are people who collect fragrances, let's be honest, and do not smell them really, or they don't wear them. We know all of them, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's their choice. If they want to collect bottles, it is their, whatever they like. Maybe they like the shape of the bottle, maybe they like that it's something vintage, maybe they like whatever that is. It is troublesome, and I think this is what ticks people off, where those people pretend to be expert in fragrances, like in smell of the fragrances, which is, people get really ticked off. And it's like, because most of us equate, oh, you have a large collection of these fragrances, you must be like expert in fragrances, which is in truth. It's not that. It's not that is not always the case. Not I'm saying that's not, but that is not always the case. There are some people are collecting these pieces because they like to find the thrill in hunting and finding the rarest thing and the most difficult to get thing. It's almost like what do you call those things? Like solving a piece puzzle. Mitra is out with the fur. What's that? What was that? Dun, 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 dun. I can't remember what that music was. Dee, 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 dee. um, I know two girls here who collect empty bottles of fragrance. Yeah, so yeah, it is actually there's an international perfume bottle association. Like it's not even perfume about the perfume. Actually, that perfume museum in Portugal. Low, 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 low. Yeah. Now I'm gonna stuck in my mind. There's a perfume bottle association that has like yearly kind of meetings and stuff, and the people there are like just collecting perfume bottles, not the scent. Like they're just uh she hit the floor. Dee, 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 dee. Oh my god, this is gonna get stuck in my mind. Boots with the fur. Ding, no, no, ding. Yeah, I can't remember the lyrics. I'm so terrible in the lyrics. I just know that I like the music. It's like actually playing in my mind. You planted some thoughts in my head. Um, apple bottom jeans. God, why am I so terrible in this? Like, stop it, guys. Like, I'm just gonna keep singing, not talk about fragrances. Anyways, so there's that. What else? What else could be a reason? Well, Rafi was kind of implying that people who are not collecting but displaying like their collection in many different ways and whatnot, they may be doing it in show off, um, conscious or unconscious, in a way of show off that they have these, commodities, and hence that kind of, renders them more sexually appealing. I don't know if that's definitely not why I'm collecting fragrances, because that is yeah, not something that I'm looking for at this stage of my life. But seeing people who like to lord it over. What does lord it over mean? I don't know. I've been in a YouTube channel where they had me match perfume with music. Oh yes, perfume with music. It's awesome. Like that kind of that would be awesome. I also like I want to do this one day. I want to like us regulars. I want to do perfume match to our like all the people that are regulars in the chats, like Prolis and Terras and Dushan and Raymonds, and just match them with the scent that I see them wear. Like that's so funny. I For whatever reason I have constructed this concept in my mind what Alicia wears. Like and also Tara, like because her taste is very close to me, and I was like, oh, Tara will enjoy this. Oh, Tara will enjoy this. And then there are like some leathery, really patchouli intense or like, punchy fragrances. And I'm like, oh, Alicia will like this. It's not, nobody else is like, I'm thinking like that, but it's just Alicia and Tara. It offended me to see a bottle I can't get. Why is that? Lord it over others like they are special. Oh, yeah, like a show off. Yeah. Like in a materialistic way. Yeah. And that really robs. This is the problem with like a fragrance community, because it's not really uh, homogenous in some ways, because like it is a fragrance community, but people in it for different reasons, like and they're getting different things from it, and then that difference like robs people off in different ways, like because I know people who get really upset with blind buyers, and I was like, why don't you give, or like when you get a fragrance and you sell it, they're like, oh, why didn't you give fragrance a chance? Like, that's like missing like two sprays. I mean, oh, you know what? Sometimes I know in the two spray, I know that's shit, and I'm not gonna wear it. So, and getting samples is not always the easiest way. I block the show offs because I just don't like to see it. I don't see. Yes, yes. I think that's actually that is good. That's a good strategy. Like, you don't need to see it. What are you looking at? Like, if it bothers you, just like move on, right? And that's actually something about the world these days. Like, people are feeling like so entitled to comment on others' behavior that is not really harmful. So I'm saying, if someone has a behavior and it is harmful to others, yes, and the community, you have the right to comment on it. But if someone is like, I don't know, they want to wear a clown mask every day to whatever they want to do. I mean, it's not my fucking none of my business, okay? None of my business, okay? And not harming anyone, at least that's what I'm thinking right now. And if I don't like it, just don't look at it. That's all. And as Tara said, if you don't like these people, just block them off. Like, you don't have to see them, you don't have to follow them. If you are continuously hate watching someone, there's something wrong with that. And again, that's another behavior, right? Like, that's another behavior you need to look at. And it's like, this thing bothers me. I hate it. Why am I still gonna continue looking at it? Hi, Buzz. I don't know if it just makes me angry. Like a beaver will build a dam when he hears running water. I will try to acquire a bottle. Like, actually, probably I know a channel. No, I'm just joking. Um, yeah, I do it myself too sometimes, and I'm like, I just hate the Cheetos in command. Why am I watching him, right? Like, all the time. But again, I feel like with ignoring is that's what they want, and I don't want to do that. Exactly. I don't like something someone says. I just scroll by because I have better things to do that argue with the sky. That is true. That is true. And it's just like, people think like, if they go and explain in a kind of ration, and like, what they think are the reasons that this behavior is not right or is not good or whatever, the person who's doing that behavior gonna see it and change. And I'm like, bro, it doesn't work that way. People who do those things aren't looking, like, a lot of them. So it's an unconscious behavior. And if it is an unconscious behavior, you aren't aware that it's a problem, because the only people who are doing that behavior will look into videos or like anything to see why are they doing the behavior, because they know this is a problem. And they may change, but that's a minority of them, and they will change regardless of what me as a YouTuber says or not. But then there is a category of them that do a behavior unconsciously and they don't know it's a problem, and that's never going to change, no matter what. Like, you can't change a person if they don't want to change and they don't recognize that this is a problem. And it's like, almost like Alcoholic Anonymous. If you don't accept that you're an alcoholic, you will never quit. What are we talking about? Collecting fragrances. What do you think of 2018? What is that? Giulia quadrifolio. I have no idea what that is. We are talking about why people collect fragrances fast. I'm stepping down, moving away from the streams that involve drama. I pledge. Jake and Moose. Who's Jake? Um, well, that's also another part, right? Like, like, what is it in this thing I'm doing? Again, mindful behaviors. I often tell people, like, they're like, oh, I just, whether it's with eating, whether it's with exercising, whatever it is, it's always good practice that once in a while, not every time, once in a while, you stop yourself and say, I'm going to give this, whatever it is, 15 minutes before I do it. And in that 15 minutes, I'm going to ask myself 3 questions. Is that, why am I doing it? Is it benefiting me? Is it harming me? And would I like to continue? And at the end of 15 minutes, you have the choice to do it. Okay? You can go ahead if you want to do it, but that practicing of the conscious behavior and mindful behavior, usually if the behavior is harmful or the harms are more than benefits, people kind of reduce at least the frequency of doing it. Oh, Gian here. Hi, Gian. How are you? Guys, please like the stream. I want to see some likes. Don't make what? I didn't see anything. Fine, I will say it. Hi, everyone. My name is Raymond, and I'm a fragrance collector. No, no, you gotta use the proper terminology, Raymond. My name is Mitra, and I'm a fragrance addict. Yes, and it's all, you know, it is, as long as you do it mindfully. I think at least to practice mindfully doing, and I don't like to, it's always, I tell people, like, I just don't like to say, oh, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to. Just avoidance is never a solution. Of like avoidance of thinking why you do something is not a path to become successful in life. To be honest, soothing for the senses. That is true. Well, like the behaviors takes time to change. Like, alcoholics never quit. Like, most people don't quit smoking in the first time. Most people don't quit drinking alcohol the first time. And I think it's a gradual process. And, and it's not, it, it, it doesn't have to be, like with fragrances, it doesn't have to be like complete off, right? It can be just enjoy what you have. And as long as you are putting an effort, right? Like you're putting an effort into it, you're consciously thinking about it, you're working on it. At least you're not ignoring it. Like you understand that this is a behavior I'm doing, and maybe it is problematic and it's not good for me, and I am taking a step to fix it. Now, how many trials is going to take? It depends, right? What have been the consequences for you, and how sometimes it takes for people to get to the rock bottom to start changing, and but some people are able to do that before getting there, and that's not meaning that someone is weak or strong or whatever that is, but it's just that it has to run its course. Anyways, I just have to, one lesson in life that I've learned, that I cannot change anyone just by trying to give them reasons and rational kind of reasons that why what they're doing is wrong, and why what I think they should be doing is better, if they're not acknowledging that that's a problem. And I keep reminding that to myself every single day. And there are ways to have a conversation about these things with people, to just see even where they are, in terms of their, pre-contemplative, situation to be. But again, it's just, it takes time to stop repeating mistakes, and that's true. And then just, working on it. The importance is, I told I told my kiddo the other day, it's like, he was kind of upset that his team lost. And I was like, remember, a winner is a loser. No? A winner is a loser who tried one more time, which is kind of interesting to look at. All right. I gotta go to work. I just wanted to have a brief conversation about why we collect fragrances. If you're listening later, please feel free to comment on why you are collecting fragrances. Might be, and when you ask yourself about that, what might be the reasons that started you in this? Was there something happening in your life, and a stressful thing happening in your life around the time that you started collecting fragrances? Do you think there's a connection? Leave me a comment. I'm going to sound like Sebastian. Just like, sun is so strong today. And I shall see you later. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good day.